Okay, welcome to Synthesis 1. We're going to start with how to do Project 1, which is just making a song or a beat 2 to 3 minutes in length, any combination of MIDI and audio tracks. Let's jump right into it. Let's start with a drum beat. I'm going to just hit the loops over here this time. There's also a drummer track. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. I'm going to select um, the instrument that I want over here. I X'd it out because it was on bass. I'm going to select all drums. Then I'm going to type in funk, and just because I'm going to feel like writing something kind of funky. Um, and see what we got here. Simple funk drums. Oh, that's all right. We got also upbeat funk drums. I think Vintage Funk Kit '03. That was actually the one, the very famous one that was used for Rihanna's Umbrella. Um, we'll use that one for this. What the heck? And we'll drag it over here underneath the other available track. And I'm going to make a copy of this by just option dragging it because I want to make a 4-bar loop. And then I'm going to hit the cycle region up here and have it repeat that part. So I can hit play by hitting the space bar. And then I can audition some bass parts. X out the drums. And let's hit bass. And I'm also going to type in funk. And see how they work together. Try some different ones. Not bad. Let's try the round funk. I kind of like that. I'm going to drag it down underneath the drums. And also option drag it. Make a copy of it. Now I'm going to record some keyboards up here. The top. Kind of mess around a little bit first. And I just kind of determined that the bass is playing. And so it's playing an F and then a C. So a bar of F, a bar of C. So I'm going to play like a F minor 7 chord and then a C minor 7 chord. Now you can also just find other loops to go along with this too. But for now, I'm just trying to lay down a little piano on F minor 7 and C. All right, let's see how those go together. Nice. Now, since that was a beat that I created, I'm going to open up the piano and quantize it. Double click on this and open up the region editor over here too. That's another way to quantize. And we can just set it to 16th note because it's like those are 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Most funky music is 16th note based. And you saw it shift a little bit there. Now it should be even more in the pocket. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and hit my cycle region up here again. Maybe add a little percussion to it. Percussion is safer than melody instruments because it doesn't have a pitch to it. And so you can add lots of things like congas or tambourine. You still have to watch out for the rhythm, but let's try some congas. Yeah, drag that over there. Make a copy of it. How about shaker? Now you can, we've already got there about 5 tracks or so. I could also try, anything else you want to add, um, like, vibes, organ, the loops over here. Oh. All right, I'm going to drag that in. All right, now that is a cool organ sound. I don't necessarily want that, what was played here, but I do kind of like the sound. So I'm going to take out the actual rock organ region and play my own. Take off the cycle. I'm going to hit record and just put just a little simple riff. Okay, so now we got a little organ to go with our beat. So anyway, this is just one example of a way to do your project in short order and learn how to use Logic Pro. It's only one of the many ways to use it. I'm going to hit the E button to get rid of the editor. Down here seems to be stuck on piano roll. I'm going to hit P to get rid of that. Now, what I can do is just select all of this and option drag it. And then let's select all of this too. This is an 8-bar region. Copy all of that, Command C, and then go over here to bar 9. Make sure we're right on it. I'm going to use the period and comma keys to make sure. See where it says 9111 up here? So you're right at the beginning of the bar, and just hit Command V a bunch of times. I'm going to make sure I have the top track selected. Command V, Command V, and you see this, the minutes going up here. It's now up to 1 minute and 3 seconds, minute and a half, and now we're up over 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So effectively, that's the length of your assignment, of your project. So I'm going to stop copying. I'm also going to set the ending of the project to be measure 57, and you do that right here in the project in area. Double click, type 57, and that'll be the end. And by the way, this has to be set to custom in order to see the project end, and you also have to go in and customize the control bar and display to show the key signature and project end, which I find is very important. There's a whole bunch of other things showing here right now that I may not need so much, like vary speed. We'll get to that later. Even the replace, we'll get to that later. And we may be able to see a little more of the real estate we want to see up here. So we could also just go back to just beats in time. And then it lets us see our record button and everything. Now what we could do is just go back to the beginning and say, let's just start off with just the drums. So start deleting things. And let's have like a couple bars with just drums. And then the congas come in. And then the shaker. We'll save the B3 for a while. And just build this up. Shaker, then the bass, then the piano for 4 bars, and then we're into the B3. Let's check it out. Down the organ just a little bit. Now at that point we could say, okay, let's drop out everything except just the shaker and the piano for a minute. Maybe this time we'll break down to just bass and drums. For 8 bars, could be just four bars. You get the idea. We can just change up the arrangement by dropping things out. Leave the shakers out for a minute. Now, by the way, before we get too far along, I'm going to hit Command-Shift-S. I've already saved this project, but I always like to, it's just called Project 1 Demo. But I'm going to put an 01 at the end of it, and it makes a new version of it. So we're always making backups. And I'm in the desktop, Summer 2018, Synthesis 1, Mike Bogle, and then the Project 1 Demo. So that's a good filing system to follow. Now, you could either add some vocalists from the vocal samples. You could explore those over here in the loop window. So, for instance, let's click on vocals and see what we got here. Tyson, what do you got to say?
Drop it, yeah.
Could be cool, but not exactly what I'm looking for. So, Tom.
You're the one that I've been dreaming of. You're the one that I've been dreaming of. Can't go on without you.
Okay, that was a little extreme. But anyway, since I'm a piano player, I'm just going to like improvise over this thing. I'm going to make another piano part, electric piano part, by doing Command D for duplicate that track. And I'm just going to make a little improv fun over this track. Here we go. Okay. Well, hey, that was pretty cool. But wait a minute. I forgot to hit record. Oh my gosh. I'll never be able to duplicate that again. Well, guess what? There's a secret key command, Shift R, called capture as recording. And voila, I actually did record it. So that's kind of fun. So we can check it out. All my licks are safe. So there you go. And basically, that is a finished project in however many minutes it took us to do that. You could just do a little fade out at the end. I could continue playing the piano. One quick way to do a fade out, since we've already set the ending, is just deselect everything, go up to the mix menu and just say create track automation, create volume fade out on main output, and it's done. Be sure to hit A to turn the automation off after that, which you'll hear it fade out. Fades right out. And you can also, of course, you could go in here and add some sound effects like some ocean or anything that you think you might like. Um, summertime right now. I wouldn't mind hearing a little ocean, beach waves. So always just drag this down here, and always let Logic create the track for you. Um, Now that we have that, also watch out. It looks like this is a surround channel, so we'll go in here and change this to just be a regular channel if we can. Doesn't seem to be responding. There we go. Output. Stereo output. That way we'll be able to hear it and everything. And whenever this ends, of course, we might want to turn back our automation by hitting A and fade it out so it doesn't end too abruptly. And turn the automation back off. And now we'll just hit save, Command S. We could hit Command B to bounce. And you could just select MP3 right now. Make sure it's going all the way to the end, which we know our ending is bar 57, so we're good. Offline mode, include audio tail, 24-bit. Say OK. And name your bounce. And since we don't have any yet, just a regular old Project 1 Demo 01 will be fine. And there you have a very simple and quick project that will get you an A.